Hello everyone, David O'Neill here. The date is Tuesday, December 6th, and the time is 9:44. I just wanted to talk about my social gym session that I had yesterday and some afterthoughts, some important and powerful lessons that I learned during the night. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was breaking down the thought process of social anxiety and why a person would normally be very nervous in a situation where they were going to approach. So I was thinking about some situations in my life and why I would be nervous to approach. And one of them was like, what am I going to say? What if she thinks I'm weird? Or what if she doesn't think I'm cute? And I thought, like, as I was going through these scenarios in my mind, I realized it's all self-defeating. So I haven't even given myself a chance to go over there and really see where it goes. And I've already put this negative energy into myself. So of course it's going to go one of those directions because I'm pretty much putting that energy out there. So I thought, what if I were to change my mindset and think, what if she thinks I'm really interesting? Or what if she thinks I'm really cute? And like thinking where I could take it there. And it's really just changing your negative thoughts and what she may think and focus on the positive instead. And it sounds simple, and you've probably known this for some time, but like putting it into actual practice is where you start to see the beauty of this simple rule, you know? So, and another thing that I was thinking as well is like going into, let's say you are attracted to somebody in a social environment, or rather in a social setting. And going in there with the intent of just like taking something away, like getting her name for Facebook or getting her phone number. Now, instead of approaching someone with the interest or the intention of taking and leaving with something like her phone number or Facebook, go in there with the intent of leaving something positive so that the next logical step is to receive one of those things. I mean, after all, the old rule of ask and you shall receive is dead. And the new rule, give, then receive, is the next level of developing a real connections. So I wanted to also talk about something that I learned from my old self. You know, sitting myself down and really breaking down some reasons why I was unable to really develop deep connections with people. And one of them was because I was very closed-minded. I was very argumentative, and if someone said something that I didn't agree with, I'd become very defensive. So last night actually ended up being a real test in that because this guy came up to me at Hudson's, and I came up to him rather, and I sparked a conversation. And one of the things he asked me was, "What's your sign?" And I told him, "Oh, I'm a Scorpio." And usually when people ask about signs, I think it's just maybe just for fun or whatever, like horoscope and whatnot. But he went on to talk about personality traits that he gets from learning about people's signs. And that's when my bullshit detector was like just going crazy. But as I let him talk and as I listened, like the old saying goes, that's why God created one mouth and two ears so you can listen before you speak. I started to learn something interesting. I learned that his way of gauging people's personalities and the best way to actually build a connection with them was much like my own. So like my own idea and my own thought process of connecting with people, I think of the three rules. And the three types of people rather. Sorry, not the rules. The three types of people. So there's visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. And all of us are all three of this, but one of them persists the most. And so basically, using science, he was able to, he had like pretty much an order of operation. So like if you were an Aquarius or if you're a Libra or whatever, he would talk to you a certain way. And it worked well for him apparently. So it was, like I said, his was much like my own. And he actually, as the conversation started to go further and further, I realized he was a very smart guy by using this method. Just having a method in general, instead of going out there and just trying to guess, which is really funny. So basically, that covers that thing that I wanted to talk about, which was listening being a lost art. And so the key to building a connection with someone in deep conversation is listening. It sounds simple, right? Oddly enough, it is too. However, one of the most common mistakes in approaching someone and starting a conversation, only to think of what you're going to say next instead of going with the natural ebb and flow of the conversation. So the positive side of things is basically the subject that I wanted to cover for this entire video blog. During my social gym session, I didn't speak to many people. However, I stayed in the set and the groups that I did for as long as possible to pretty much take that deep conversation with me, because that's actually what I really value. If you watch last week's video blog, I actually talk about that. Is like my favorite thing to do is deep conversation. So I took that and I brought it to me in a high energy environment, like a loud bar on a Monday night, and I was able to actually have it. So basically just going ahead and challenging my own assumptions. Instead of saying I can't and switching it to I will and just filling in the blanks. It's really that simple. So the take-home message I feel for this video is just basically like changing your perspective in every environment, whether it be a crazy loud club or even a quiet place like a lounge or bar. Just going, what do you value? You know, what is something that you value? And bring it with you in the environment that you want to be. Alright, well that's all I wanted to talk about. Thank you again for watching. I will have another video blog up this week, probably 2 more. Thank you very much. Take care.